Hi there, this is speech number 9 from the Competent Communicator Manual called Persuade with Power. The title of my speech is You Can Eat Whatever You Like. Would you believe me if I told you that you can eat whatever you like and still lose weight? Well, it's true. We live in a world where diets are becoming increasingly commonplace for both men and women. Gone are the days of medieval banquets and Henry VIII gorging himself on huge chunks of meat or legs of lamb. Nowadays, men and women both want to look good and feel healthy. The dieting industry is a multi-million-dollar business. A countless array of books, DVDs and weight loss products exist, trying to prey on humanity's insecurities and separate us from our hard-earned cash. Don't you agree that what a lot of these experts and dietitians preach to us seems a bit bogus and contradictory? Well, I've found something better than any diet. I found a means to eat whatever I want, when I want, and still lose weight. It's a book named I Can Make You Thin by a hypnotherapist called Paul McKenna. Now, over in the UK, Paul McKenna is a household name. He's helped countless people overcome things like smoking, various kinds of addictions, and all manner of terrible phobias. His TV programmes are rarely off the air. In fact, it's become a bit irritating with his ubiquitous nature and his air of quiet smugness. I was always a bit dubious of his work, until last week when I read this book. Now, it was recommended to me by a friend of mine who used to suffer with weight problems. He used to weigh over 100 kilograms. But after reading this book and applying all the principles rigorously to his life, he lost, within a year, almost 30 kilograms. Obviously, he looks and feels like a completely different guy. And I wanted to give it a go too. Because let me tell you something. I used to share the eating habits of Homer Simpson. There's one scene on The Simpsons where some of Homer's colleagues are watching him eat, and one of them says, "My God, he eats like a pig." And another guy says, "No, pigs tend to chew. I'd say he eats more like a duck." And that summed me up too until last week. So I'm going to take you through what the book teaches, which is the 4 golden rules of naturally thin people. Now, let me point out, this isn't a diet. The word diet implies restrictions on what and when you can eat. The problem with diets, medically speaking, is that if you restrict the body's access to food, it slows down your rate of metabolism, and the body kicks into what's known as starvation mode. Now, the human body can't differentiate between the comfortable modern age and the days when we used to have to chase our food around for days on end with a spear. So that's why it's so difficult to lose weight on a diet, because your body's desperately trying to cling on to every last morsel of fat in order to prepare you for a difficult winter. And that leads us to the first golden rule, which is eat whenever you're hungry. If you eat whenever you're hungry, it sends signals to your body that food's in plentiful supply. Your rate of metabolism picks up and you feel much more energetic. Now, I always knew that most of the time when I was eating, I wasn't actually hungry. This is what's known as emotional eating. Devouring food for comfort, or in my case, just to pass the time. If you find it difficult to tell how hungry you are, practice assessing your rate of hunger on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being as hungry as you can imagine, ravenous, faint-headed through lack of food, and 10 being so full you could burst. Now, if you score 4 or less, with 4 being slightly hungry, then it's time to eat. But if you score more than 4, then chain the biscuit barrel shut and find something to occupy yourself with for an hour. Then repeat the test. The second golden rule is one that most people can't believe. Eat whatever you like. If you place certain foods off limits, you distort your natural relationship with them, and you fantasize about them all the more. If you allow yourself the freedom of eating whatever you like, believe it or not, you'll eventually gravitate towards eating healthier food and developing a better diet. The third golden rule is enjoy your food. Eat slowly and chew each mouthful thoroughly. Savour every meal. Now, eating produces endorphins, or brain chemicals, which give you a sense of enjoyment. and they compel you to eat faster and faster so you can get another fix of brain chemicals. But if you eat slowly and chew each mouthful thoroughly, it gives your stomach a chance to catch up and let you know when it's full. Now, another benefit of chewing your food is that it makes it easier for your stomach to digest it. No longer do you feel sluggish and lethargic after a meal. Instead, you feel light and full of energy. And also, because you're stopping to enjoy your food rather than wolf it all down in one go, you may well find that you're enjoying it on a whole new level. And the last golden rule, number 4, is when you feel full, you must stop eating. Well, this is the one people have trouble with. Because a lot of us were told as kids that you must finish every meal, and that if you leave food on your plate, somehow it makes you an ungrateful person. I remember my teachers coming out with a classic line, "There's people starving in Africa." I felt powerless to disobey their commands. It's a difficult rule to break the programming of. But just consider, if you do as you were once told, and eat all the food off your plate, will it really solve any global food crisis? Now, after a couple of weeks, you start to develop an appreciation when your stomach's actually full. If you continue eating past that point, it becomes a less and less appealing prospect. So, I've been following this system for just over a week now, and already I've noticed my food portions have gone down to a third of what they were. And what's more, I can go hours between meals without feeling hungry. It's amazing. I don't know what to do with all the spare time now I'm not eating. The key is to apply the system consistently day after day. After a while it becomes second nature, well, very soon in fact, it becomes second nature. And don't beat yourself up if you suffer a relapse. These things happen and you just got to keep trying, you're only human. So, to sum up, if you're worried about your weight, help is at hand. Don't fall prey to the dieting industry. Give the book "I Can Make You Thin" a go, because you can eat whatever you like and still lose weight.